Hey YouTubers, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. Enjoy the video.
Hey YouTubers!
That's MJ, I'm Mark, guys. We're going to be talking to you guys today about... By the way, thank you for always interrupting me, man. We're going to be talking to you guys today about... Keep interrupting me! Okay, so guys, today we're going to be talking about the universes during the Tournament of Power and how many of them are actually going to be eliminated and stay eliminated. So with this being said, guys, you got your firm spoiler warning here. We are going to be discussing spoilers, leaks, theories, and speculations based on things that have been kind of told to us over the last couple of weeks. So with that being said, last warning, here we go. So MJ, we've been told... We know that Universe 9 got eliminated. We've been told that Gohan is going to basically body the rest of Universe 10, and they're going to get eliminated. And I'm wondering how many universes are actually going to get eliminated as we go forward in the Tournament of Power. Because there's an idea that none of them are going to get eliminated. They're all going to come back. All this kind of tension and everything is going to be completely written off, and yada, yada, yada. You know, like, that was fun, but... look how we are all happy-go-lucky ending. I have been one of the people who've said that for a long time, but now I'm kind of changing my tune. I don't necessarily think that this whole thing was set up, all the structure, all the super, like, 0 to 60 in terms of actual stakes in the story is going to get written off immediately after this particular arc ends. I personally think that universes that do get eliminated are going to stay gone, and then the ones that don't, after another leak basically said that there's something a little bit more dangerous than the Tournament of Power, or at least suggested that there is going to be things that are more dangerous than the Tournament of Power, are going to interrupt or at least be within this arc. So my thought is the universes that get eliminated are going to stay eliminated. Something's going to interrupt, and whoever is left standing, Zeno is going to forget or something, and they're going to be able to continue to survive and exist and give us the option for Goku and Vegeta or whoever at whatever point to actually go and fight. So what are your thoughts on there? And then we'll get into who you think is actually going to get eliminated.
It's hard to say. It really is, because a lot of people, you're right, had the idea that every universe was going to get destroyed except for 7, and then Goku or somebody, right, would wish back all the universes, right? I don't necessarily know what could happen, but for the longest time, I've kind of, well, not for the longest time, excuse me, from the Tournament of Power, since like around that time, like episode 92 to 95, like around the time Frieza came back, right, in the episodes, I kind of had the idea that this isn't going to be the last portion of this arc. You know what I mean? I kind of thought the Tournament of Power was going to actually be just one portion, like how there was an exhibition portion, the recruitment portion, then the Tournament of Power portion, and then something else after that, you know? So it's tough to say, but we were talking off air, and he brought up the idea about Universe 9, and who knows, maybe a lot of the Jabroni universes may actually end up staying destroyed, you know? Like Universe 9 or 10, and the reason why I say 10 is I understand Gawasu was a big part, you know, of the Future Trunks arc, and that Universe 10 as a whole was a big part of it. I mean, think about it. That's the reason why Zamasu went crazy. I would go crazy too if I had to make tea for an old man, you know, 24/7 for centuries. But anyways, I think the idea that, you know, Gawasu would, or Universe 10 as well, could be one of the universes that perishes is and stays gone, is because of the idea that Super is introducing things, and then they're kind of just like getting rid of them and just kind of saying bye. Like they did it with in the filler, they did it with the time machine, you know? It was almost kind of like cementing the idea that, okay, time travel's done with. Future Trunks is gone. He's not coming back. So they really got that idea into our heads. They even played, like, I always thought it was weird that they played sad music. Or they played some sort of music when Beerus destroyed the time machine, and I was like, yeah, that's it. Oh, and it destroyed Bulma's book. So I was like, yeah, okay, they really are telling us that time travel's gone. They're telling us the Future Trunks stuff is just over with. So an idea would be to get rid of the Gawasu, since he was a big portion of that arc, and Universe 10 kind of stays, you know, gone. And then you brought up Universe 9, because Universe 9 as a whole is kind of just a terrible universe, you know what I mean? It's like, it almost seems like a grunt universe, just very horrible. The fact the Trio of the Dangerous remarked that they constantly have to survive in it, like, it just seems like whatever goes on in Universe 9, there's constantly war. battles, on planet to planet constantly, so it would make sense that they would stay gone as well. But once you start getting into the other universes, it's a bit hard because you got that very technical advanced universe like Universe 3, and then of course you got the Pride Troopers who are a big deal, and then you got Universe 6, which is the twin universe of 7, so it kind of gets hard there to pick which universe you think would actually stay gone. But I mean, off the top, 9 and 10 would probably be the first two, in my opinion, to actually stay gone, and not come back at all.
No, I completely agree with you. But the one thing I would say is I would go a little bit further. Obviously, you said like Gowasu Universe 10, even though we didn't get to explore it, even though Gowasu was pretty big in the last arc, it had its glory. Whatever main threat that could potentially come out of that universe, given the fighters that we're seeing right now, came out of that universe, and we don't really have to think about it anymore, right? And then Universe 9, like you said, kind of grunt people, and not necessarily the most ideal universe, definitely the lowest on the totem pole, and one that they gave a little part of this arc, mini filler part of this arc with the preliminary matches to some of the most interesting people on that team, and then the rest of them, and this goes for Universe 2 as well, or not Universe 2, but this goes for Universe 10 as well. Not really interesting designs for anybody. The Trio to Danger, sure, interesting designs, interesting techniques, but everyone just kind of seemed like a wash, like they didn't necessarily care exactly what they drew. And I would say that's an indication of what we're going to be seeing, the intrigue they put into certain universes and how they play it up. So the one thing I think is we're going to get eliminated, and I know this seems really like a formula, and it doesn't feel like it might be true, but here's just my guess. Universe 9 and 10 we know are gone. Based on the spoilers and what we've seen thus far in the tournament arc, we know those two universes are definitely gone. Let's keep it, and I think Super will keep it with twin universes being gone, because if one is gone, there's no reason to have the other. Plus, that kind of keeps the same rule of 13 that they established early on, without it actually feeling like, I guess, it's too bad or there's something not right about it. And the way I'm saying, what I mean about that is, Universe 9 is gone. That means that Universe 4 is gone. And Universe 4 right now is not really an interesting universe either. The only reason it's interesting is because they have two people hiding in the shadows somewhere, and we know that that's going to get resolved in one way, shape, or form, and it's not really going to affect the story all that much, unless it does, and then I could be completely wrong. And then we have Universe 3, as if we've discussed multiple times on other videos. They are scrubs. Like, they have interesting characters, but at this point they're not being utilized in an interesting way. And even if they did become more important later on, as you and I have speculated, I don't necessarily see them surviving. It's a cool universe, but the very fact that it's all androids and it's all robotics and everything else like that might be fun to explore, but at the same time not necessarily interesting or something that I really want to jump into. We've done the whole android and enhanced living organism thing before with Cell and the androids and everything else like that. Plus,
even in GT with the Metamutants,
and even the even in Dragon Ball, really, we had, the Pilaf gang. We've done machines before. We don't necessarily need to continue to, I guess, play in that world. But when you think about all the other ones that could potentially be left after you take out those four universes, obviously you have those four universes gone. You have the four that were exempt. So then you have four more. So think about the ones that are left. Obviously, Universe 6 and 7 are going to stay. Universe 11 seems really important. And Universe 2, although they are putting all the stops in the recent episodes, there's just something about them, with the Yardradian guy still in the ring and the secrecy amongst those other two characters that we haven't necessarily seen anything through, only the end credit scene. We've seen that big green guy. It's interesting to me, and I feel like there's enough intrigue that might make us want to actually go check out those universes. Plus, I'm not necessarily sure, but there doesn't seem to be anything indicating that universe, at least to me, Universe 11 or Universe 2 is going to produce the big bad of this particular arc. And if someone were to produce the big bad, then that universe might be gone. And as you and I have talked about before, it could easily be someone like Universe 3, with the baby theory that we came up with the other day, or Universe 4, where you have someone like these two people who are mysterious figures that Ten Shin Han and Hit have talked about. So if it's either one of those, or they're working together or something less like that, I could see those two universes getting erased out of spite and then kind of disrupting the tournament enough to have, okay, you four left, really good fight, we'll do this later, you get to live.
Okay, yeah, I see your point on that. And just to be clear, you came up with the baby stuff, not me. You came up with that stuff, right? Not me. So
I don't know about
so
it.
stroke yourself, bro. Don't stroke me, all right? No, but anyways, yeah, I definitely see your point on that. We have done videos talking about, Universe 3, Universe 4 and stuff. And it's really tough to say, because when you factor in the idea that this tournament could be, interrupted, it's like we're also forgetting the theory that everyone and their mom's even done. You know what I mean? The Grand Priest is evil. The evil angel. Even my mom came up to me the other day. Did the Grand Priest turn evil yet? Did he have his heel turn? I'm like, nah, Mom, not yet. But just kidding.
It's coming, Mom. God.
But obviously you have that too. The whole angels disrupting or interrupting the tournament, and you can you have the angels versus like the strongest mortals. You can go that route, and of course that would lead to some universes, I guess, just being forgotten about and not being wished back, which is kind of fucked up. That's kind of sad. It's just like one day Goku and them were just like, man, yeah, you remember Trio the Dangers? Yeah. And then what's even sadder, bro, is when you get Hakai, there's no afterlife either. Hey, that's an interesting point. Would they even be able to bring him back with the Dragon Balls? If I didn't even think so. It would have to be like a Zeno Grand Priest thing, right? If they could bring him back, right?
Depends. It really depends on what they really mean by there's no limits of the Dragon Balls, like the Super Dragon Balls, really.
Yeah, like the Super Dragon Balls versus the regular ones, like the Namekians and the Earths, right? Kind of like what they would do, because we know they can bring them back from the afterlife. But like if the Hakai transcends that and like literally erases your ass, it's like maybe they could bring them back, yeah.
But that's the point. If the Super Dragon Balls can't, and we're all just speculating that they can because they have thrown out that line there where Champa said when they first, it's like those orbs in my universe and your universe have limitations. Not with these. There's no limitations. But we don't know how far that stretches. Does that stretch beyond like a literal destruction from a god? We don't know. Especially the god, the Omni King. So I honestly think that that's something that we've really just put on fan speculation and reading a lot between the lines. And it could be just essentially the ones that get destroyed are the ones that get destroyed. And for the tournament, or for there to be enough story left after this tournament, they might just really have to have someone come in, be it a mortal, one of the Zenos, the Grand Priest, an angel, a god of destruction, somebody come in and completely derail all of this, honestly. So I feel like that is what we're kind of gearing up for, and before we get there, we're going to have at least 4 universes be destroyed. And that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be 9, 10, 3, and 4.
That would actually make sense. Now, what about this idea? So let's talk about the idea that it does have limitations, right? And they can't bring back something that, when a universe or a mortal gets Hakai'd or whatever it is, erased, right? If the Super Dragon Balls can't bring them back, do you see it going this route where those 4 that you just mentioned get destroyed, or erased, when they get erased? Do you see the tournament kind of just ending, because everyone's still on the stage? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because there was one line back in episode 101. I could be, I think it was 101, yeah, where basically they mention all the fodder are gone. And it's basically just like the strong guys that are now. So it's like if more of the fodder gets eliminated, like more, I guess, of the upper tier fodder. It just sounds funny. Okay, let's say this. Let's say the fodder were all gone. Now we're dealing with the jabronis. So if the jabronis get eliminated, it's just like, what if it's just like no one else gets eliminated after that? You know what I mean? Like you have Goku, Vegeta, them just standing the ground, Hit, Jiren, them, you know what I mean? Like, you can't eliminate me, motherfucker. Like I'm tough. The same goes on for that. That could be a possibility where it just ends like that. You know what I mean? They could do that where those 4 got erased and that's it. Bada bing, we're done with the tournament. You know what I mean? Because they didn't really say what would happen once the time limit ends, did they? And we have like a whole bunch of people still on the tournament platform.
Well, they have whoever has the most.
They're the
wins.
ones who wins. So then everyone else
Yeah.
will just get erased in, right?
I mean, potentially, but who knows? I mean, like I said, there are indications that someone is going to be interrupting. Something is going to happen that's
Something
going to
terrible
derail it.
is really going to happen.
And we already know that the Zenos have to push those buttons, and they get distracted easily. Like, it would be interesting. They're forgetful too, so it'd be interesting to be like, they had fun, whatever. Those two, like the 4 got destroyed. It kind of loosened our burden of all this stuff. There's 2 of us. Yeah, let's go play and let's not think about it. We'll do this again sometime, and then they completely forget about it, or we start training for the next one or something like that, without actually having to lose the potential of someone like Universe 6, like Kaba, the Saiyans, Hit, or Jiren, the Pride Troopers, or even these magical girls from Universe 2, or anyone else, really.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, I guess just going off of what you mentioned earlier, spoilers, and it just not even really the spoilers. You can just going off of like the arc itself. There's certain statements I think people really overlook, like the whole Frieza stuff. You know what I mean? It's like it does seem like there's more to this than just a tournament, and I could definitely see it getting interrupted. So sorry, 9, 10, and 3, 4.
Potentially. But definitely 9 and 10 are gone. So bye, guys. I really think they're not coming back. That's what this really is about. So, guys, with that being said, please make sure to share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. We really want to hear everyone's opinions about this, whether you think they're coming back, whether you think the Dragon Ball or the Super Dragon Balls can even bring them back, because there is a question about whether they can or not, considering the fact that the Omni King himself is the one who, or both of them really, are the ones who destroyed these in the first place. And obviously, please make sure to go down to the description section below, hit that link, and go subscribe to MJ Guy Makes Really Awesome Content over there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscription button to notify you every single time I upload. But with that being said, guys, we hope everyone has a good day. It's been real.